You know, at first I thought this question was hard, but then another question came, so it's kind of two questions here. First is from Fernando from your Linux workshop. And he wanted to know, I thought this question was hard. How do you, oh, I lost it. How do you think about different parts of long-form compositions? Okay, but then this question is really good.
That's Fernando. Okay,
Yep,
Fernando,
yep.
I got that.
And then Adam in London. Could you talk
Adam
about
in,
how you
Adam in London. Okay.
how you came up with La Fiesta? I'm really interested, especially in the waltz-like B section.
Okay.
It's
All
really
right.
close to his heart.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Adam, and thanks, Fernando. I remember Fernando. How you doing, man? What are we talking about?
Long-form composition.
Long-form composition. You know, when I, one of my inroads, how's the audio doing, Bernie, with the brain? Are we okay?
No, we're okay.
Are we okay?
Yeah, it's noisy, but we're okay.
Yeah, it's kind of noisy, isn't it? Wow. I'm going to keep going. So I remember that one of the inspirations for long-form compositions, which is like more than just one melody, like other things that occur after the one thing, then another thing happens, and another thing happens, was listening to Bela Bartok's composition, Concerto for Orchestra. Concerto for Orchestra is one of my favorite orchestral pieces, and it's a gorgeous piece of music. And I started to notice that the way I never knew Bela Bartok. I think he passed away in the 40s. Although I was born in 41, so we were around the same time, New York. But I think the way he composed was kind of like an improvisation. He'd write some part. Listen to his string quartets. Really shows this. And he'd write some part, and then he'd move on to another part, and then he'd move on to another part, and not particularly feel the necessity to return to a theme to make it sound balanced or whatever. And somehow it would always have a balance, but it would have this flavor of just continuing, just like an improvisation, but written out. And that really spurred my imagination. I thought, you know, that's something seems natural to me. So I started writing songs, writing suites and pieces like that.
So is this early in your career?
This is way, Bartok's music came into my life in high school, when I was in high school, way back then. In fact, Bartok was, Bela Bartok and Igor Stravinsky were the two classical composers that caught my attention. Because when I was in high school, I would listen to Bach and I would listen to Mozart and Beethoven, the classical, who were considered the classical composers, but they didn't reach me at that time. They do now, I must say. But at that time, my ears were open for Bartok and Stravinsky and Alban Berg and some of the more modern composers. So that opened me up to suites. Now the other part of the second...
Yep, about La Fiesta.
La Fiesta. There's a sort of a story goes with that. Do you know the La Fiesta? I think it's. I
could know it. Hold on.
I think I've got the. No, I think
here.
I think yeah. I think so. I think La Fiesta is in there, isn't it? Maybe not. I could show you the bridge. The bridge is kind of.
Hold on.
Bridge has a bunch of changes.
I can find it.
Yeah. You can find it on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Modern technology.
Okay. Well. You know, the first part of La Fiesta is a vamp, of course. there's a story about the bridge, which is the bridge is like. Oh no, wait a minute. Let me do that again. That's right. Yeah, so now, but he asked about the composing of it, and actually, this melody here is a total ripoff. Especially that part, especially this part. That much actually. This is different than where I ripped it off from, but. Is anybody out there? Can anybody else get? Well, here, let me put it in another key. What is it? It's. That's Train.
Yeah, for Coltrane, right? That's his
Yeah,
solo.
that's John Coltrane.
That's right.
John Coltrane's, there's this incredibly beautiful classic recording of Miles Davis doing Someday My Prince Will Come. And the story is that Train visited the studio. He wasn't in the band at the time, John Coltrane. And that Miles invited him to come out and play a solo, because Hank Mobley was in the band at the time. And Miles invited him to come and play a solo. And he played this incredibly classic solo, the opening line of which was... And that's not it exactly, it's just, it's much more beautiful than that.
Doesn't the recordings too on the Columbia...
Yeah, it was recorded in New York. So I converted it to... Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Let's say bom dia from someone from Brazil who wants to ask about composing. I've analyzed some of your songs, but some of them I didn't find no harmonic relationship in scales, etc., but it ends perfect. How do you compose songs that way?
Okay, let me read that again. This is from Brazil.
Yes.
Brazil. Chick, about composing. I analyzed some of your songs, but some of them I didn't find no harmonic relationship in scales. I think I know what you mean by that, etc. But it ends perfect. How do you compose songs in that way? It's a way. It's a way to let go of some kind of box you might have put yourself in. Because let me demonstrate. Let me see. Well, let me just demonstrate. Like if you. Let's stay with this. Right. If you play that first chord, and that would be like a scale that would go with that A major chord. But for instance, it's all a matter of what sounds good to your ear. Like that would be notes kind of in the scale. But what if I did this? I could get used to that. That's kind of nice. That's not in the scale. Actually, there's only two notes that aren't in the scale. That one and that one. These two are in the scale. All right. So another way to think about any scales that you want is to find a resolution point. Like if this remains a resolution point, you can do anything you want. Right? Or scale. That's the scale. That's the scale. Okay. Now I'm going to do some other scales. Resolve it again. Now I'll do that same thing. Do another one. So I hope they give you some kind of idea of scales. Like you make a it's whatever sounds good to your ear, actually, and that can free you up. Well, you know, I have a no, never mind. I'll do that later.
Rusty had a very interesting comment. Please share.
Well, it was just a quote. I think I sent it to you. It's actually from the Dalai Lama, of all people. It said, "Know the rules well so you can break them effectively."
Know the rules well?
Know the rules well so you can break them effectively.
Oh, we're philosophical. Yes. Okay. Know the rules well so you can break them effectively. All right. Thank you.
That works.